Alright boys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. We are here with episode 38 of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode, and if you guys missed out on the last one, it was an utter disappointment. Probably the most disappointing season we've ever had, at least postseason wise. We were the second best team in the league in the regular season, and we go up against the Arizona Coyotes, who end up beating us in 7 games. It was a real rough one. We had real slow performances from some of the guys that we really needed. Elliot Patrick with 1 goal was a bit disappointing. We did have a bit of a bright spot here with our two young defensemen, but guys like Josh Morrissey, Nikolai Ehlers, Kyle Connor with only 1 goal in 7 games was absolutely horrible. Zach Werenski, a -5 in 7 games as our first line center, was horrible. So we really have a lot to do in this one to make up for it and try to come back stronger for the next one. And the first step in getting this team better is to come up with a plan, and that's where we turn to you guys, and Alexander gives us a great one here. He says, "Good episode, but damn, never has a playoff appearance stung or felt more like a missed opportunity than this. That roster was the best assembled in the series, and we were up against a beatable team, but the lineup sank us, and that is 100% true." He gives a couple of suggestions here, mostly focused on the blue line, but I will definitely go through them right now. Number 1, watching Werenski and Shepard as the first pair was straight out of a nightmare. Their overalls would suggest they're the best defenseman on the team, but throughout playoff runs, Werenski has struggled severely. But he's found his footing on the second pair whenever he's alongside a defense-minded partner, but he's clearly not a first-line playoff defenseman, and I definitely agree with that. As for Shepard, he's nothing more than a glorified number 4 with great defense and good physical attributes. He'll do okay on the first pair in the regular season, but get exposed in the playoffs every single time. I think it's a little harsh. It's just a little bit harsh. Shepard has been great in the regular season, I would say. Better than okay, but yeah, Shepard did not have a good postseason either, and so the criticism is therefore justified. Last year, he started on the first pair and struggled badly. We ended up winning the cup off the backs of Morrissey and Mills' exceptional performance, with Werenski and Shepard as the second pair, and then Shepard was bad defensively and offensively useless again in this playoff run. He's a good player that will get more hate than he's warranted because of his overall rating and to him being slotted highly in the organization, which Alex does not agree with. And then the fact that we didn't see Stempniak, Mills, or even old Morrissey and Mills on the first pair, or that Mills was the one demoted to the second pair instead of Werenski, is just unfortunate. And again, I definitely agree with this sentiment. I think Werenski should have been bumped down at the very least, and also Shepard as well. We could have ran with Stempniak Mills or Morrissey Mills, and so for that, I definitely apologize, guys. I don't know if it would have changed anything. Obviously, we can't go back and tell, but I definitely apologize for that. That's something that I really should have been keeping a better eye on, but I didn't realize those numbers until after the playoffs and when I looked at all the numbers and things like that, so that's on me for sure. Then, number 2, much less egregious, but shifting Patrick back to his middle position for at least a few games might have helped. As good a player as William Eklund is, he doesn't have the size of a prototypical center, and Patrick proved that he can be a great second-line center last season who can help us win the cup. The untold truth of EA's NHL is that in the playoffs, size and slotting matters more than X factors, offensive/defensive lines, pluses, and all the other gimmicks they added to try to make the game more engaging. Sadly, we came up a bit short in this run. And that's really the long and short of it, right? Is that this team is incredible in the regular season, but I have to find a way, and we as GMs have to find a way to get this team to play better in the postseason. So the overall strategy, that didn't really work, even though it worked in the past. And so we got to find a lineup that can really get it done in the playoffs. Then the next step of Alexander's plan is that he has some trade suggestions, and these are some big ones. So let's all hold on to our hats, all right? Number 1, miscast Shepard to LA for malcontent Hoffman straight up, or with the necessary additions to make the trade go through. One is a top pairing defenseman that's forced to play his entire prime on the second pair. He's talking about Hoffman there. And then the other is a number 4 that's repeatedly forced on the first pair. Fixes the issue for both by slotting Shepard behind Clark and allowing Hoffman to thrive out of Clark's shadow. So, on paper, this trade makes a great deal of sense. However, let's look at our blue line right now, all right? We take a look at our main roster blue line. Now, I'm not disregarding this 100%, but I just think I'm not entirely sure about it. So, Shepard is our best defenseman overall wise. although Alex obviously is not content with his performances, and you can kind of see why. His defense and his physical category, but I will say his senses as well. He has 89 offensive awareness, but his defense and his physical really carry his overall up there. His shot's a bit weak, his skating is very weak, and his puck skills are quite weak as well. He doesn't really have to know how to deke, but he should have better passing than that at the very least as a defenseman. But his senses, they're okay. Defense and physical is really driving his overall up there. Now, Alex has said in his comment multiple times that he's a fourth defenseman at best, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with that sentiment. I mean, the guy has a plus 29 with us. He's a plus 33, plus 12. Like, he's a great defender. And we don't, like, you don't see what he brings to the team because, of course you don't, because he's a defensive defenseman, right? His goal is not to get points on this team. But as a 6'1" defensive defenseman, he's not the biggest guy out there. But look at the intangibles he brings. 100 hits and 100 blocks every single year of his career. I think he's better than a fourth defenseman, to be honest. I think he's either second or third defenseman on a good team. You know, maybe on an incredibly stacked blue line he drops to 4, but on a blue line like ours right now, I would put maybe Mills first, then Shepard, then Stempniak. Like, you really gotta look at the roster that we have, and I think on a roster like ours, I think Shepard is second. I even think on better rosters he can be the third defenseman, but the saying still stands that Shepard does not get it done on the postseason on the first line, and so for that reason, Alex is saying that we make the trade. Now, the problem that I have with the trade is not so much the Shepard moving, because we will be getting Will Hoffman, who's a great player, obviously. He's an 88 overall. He gets points, but he is slotted in behind Brandt Clark, and so that means that he's not exactly getting the growth that he could be, nor is he probably very happy with that as they keep missing out on the playoffs year after year after year. So in return, our lines would be probably Will Hoffman with Corbin Mills, then Stempniak with, I don't know, somebody in free agency, and then 2 other guys in free agency as well. So that could be the lines. But I also think what we could do is just go Corbin Mills with Stempniak, and that means we have a right-handed and a left-handed player on the first line instead of having two righties. Then we could go Joel Shepard with somebody in free agency, and that player just can be like a two-way player, because we've seen that the two-way defenseman combo can work very well, and Joel Shepard can insulate that fourth player out there on defense, and so hopefully that can help out a little bit more. And then the third pairing can just be whoever else is out there. So I think that's what I'm going to go with for this. But again, I'm not married to my idea. I'm not married to Alex's idea. So if you guys are listening to this and you have a preference either way, comment, okay? And whoever gets the most comments, whoever's saying, if we want to keep Shepard or if we want to go for Hoffman, I will do that 100%. This channel is run by you guys basically for this series at the very least, and I want to adhere to that as much as possible. But I will say I am feeling that Shepard is not getting the love that he deserves here. He's great for the chemistry, which I know doesn't really matter in the playoffs, but even still, his second line fit is amazing. He's going to get that +3, +4 if the other guy has X factors, +2 maybe, something like that, and he has a great plus-minus wherever he plays, really. Even on horrible Buffalo, he was a 0 here in 2028-29. So I don't want to give up on Shepard too early here. I don't want to give up on him yet, and so for that reason, I'm going to stay away from Hoffman for now. But again, at the start of next episode, we can still trade for him. It will be the same thing, and at the start of next episode, we'll be able to see the lines, and so that's going to really tell us a lot. Like, if Will Hoffman maybe is their first line defenseman, and instead of it being Brandt Clark, then maybe it doesn't really make sense for us to go after Will Hoffman, right? So that's something else that we have to keep in mind, and that's kind of another reason why I want to wait until the next year to see how this goes. Now, second thing is, number 2, no more Werenski, Morrissey, Kyle Connor, Nikolai Ehlers. None can return. After that shocking exit, the old guard is effectively over. And this I agree with, boys. It is time for the passing of the torch. It is time for the old guard to be relieved of their duties. We salute them. We say thank you so much for everything they've done. These guys, Werenski, Connor, Ehlers, Morrissey, they've all won 2 Stanley Cups here in Winnipeg, right? So we appreciate all their efforts, but I think it's time to move on from them, boys. And this is not going to be me trading these guys at the draft for random value that would never really be there, as they're like 36, 37, 34. Like, the value wouldn't really be there that much. People wouldn't know that if they could keep these guys. I'm not going to be trading for pieces at the draft for them. I'm just going to let them walk in free agency, give them the send off that they deserve, man. Not some no name trade for no reason. They're gonna leave this as Jets. They're not gonna be traded for no reason. All right. Then at number 3 here, Eklund could be re-signed, but only if he's not locked in as a second line center. Not sure we can consistently win with Perfetti and Eklund down the middle, so the arrangement could be that Eklund is a center in the regular season and then maybe a winger in the playoffs. Patrick is the only player over 6 feet in the top 6, so the defense/bottom 6 has to be beefed up to make up for it. And this is another thing that I 100% agree with. If we bring Eklund back, and I mean, if we're not going to bring back Kyle Connor, Zach Werenski, Nikolai Ehlers, Josh Morrissey, we definitely have the money to bring William Eklund in. And we also have the money to really, we could go like 5 years with them, 6 years with them, probably 5 years. And we also have the money to bring in some free agents. But remember, we also have Matt Svensson we have to bring in, Elliot Patrick, and Melvin Barker, right? So we definitely still have some pieces that we've got to bring in. But I think we're going to re-sign William Eklund in this one. And that's just because he's the perfect second line center for the regular season. And then, just like Alex said, we move him to the wing for the postseason, and we let Elliot Patrick play the center, where he won the Stanley Cup with us as a second line center. So I think that arrangement can work. But now, boys, of course, we always appreciate all the time and thought that it takes for Alex to go back in these videos, find all the stats, all this stuff. I so much appreciate it, more than you know. It helps this video get out to more people. It helps you definitely help with the channel a lot with it, and it means that more people can join us in the future if they so choose. So thank you as always, Alex, for all of your suggestions. Even if we disagree a little bit on the Joel Shepherd move, I still think that we can find some common ground and we can find a solution that works for everybody. And if you're set on the Will Hoffman trade, just comment that down below in this one, and we'll see what their lines are looking like for the next season. Okay, boys, but with all that being said, actually, first things first, let's get William Eklund a contract, or at least let's send one out to him and see what he says. Here is what I am thinking. We're going to try to get William Eklund signed on here for 5 years at $10.35 million. Now, it seems like a lot for a second line center, but remember, salary cap is up big time. It's like $110 million. So in the real world, so adjusting for inflation here, I just did a little bit of math, and assuming that the NHL is announcing the $88 million salary cap for the 2024-25 season coming up, obviously we're in like 2032 or something like that right now, William Eklund would be making $7.92 million for the next 5 years in the current day, and he's a 90-point scorer, right? So I know 10.35 for a second liner looks crazy, but you have to remember, this is a different universe. The money is much higher, so in reality, it's not that much for a guy like William Eklund, who's just scored a career-high 90-something points. So 5 years, 10.35 mil. I'm liking this. We're still going to have about 40 mil left over for the rest of these guys, so I'm down with it. Let's see what you say, William Eklund. Let's offer that extension. That's all we're going to do right now, because Svensson, Elliot Patrick, and Melvin Barker, they're all asking for a fortune. Actually, boys, another move we're going to make right now is we're going to re-sign Shane Pinto, our third-line center. He's been a fantastic third-line center for us. We're going to re-sign him for 2 years at $2.575 million, and we'll see what he says to that. And those are all the moves that we're going to be making here in this one, at least for right now. We still have the draft. We still have all the stuff that we have to do. So let's get to it. And Shane Pinto says it was an easy decision to decide to renew my contract with you. It's important that I get what I want for the contract duration, so it was an easy to agree to this renewal. And what about William Eklund? Okay, Silovs is still on as well. I forgot that we signed Silovs to an extension as well. Okay, now he was league minimum 2 years, something like that. Eklund. Okay, Eklund hasn't signed on yet. What about now? Easy decision to renew my contract with you. Thank you very much, William Eklund. We love to see that. All right, so now all that's left to do is just simulate to the offseason. Look at this. Buffalo moves up from 9 to 1. So Gabriel Velarde there, their tank job helped them. Detroit, who won the cup a couple of years back, they are down there at 7. Anybody interesting? Washington moved from 3 to 5. Yeah, okay, so there's a couple of movers there, but that's because Buffalo moved up. So, hey, tough for anybody who was number one that I didn't actually see. The retired players this year, Sasha Barkov goes out, still an 88 overall, bro. Oh my goodness. How many? He had a 93-point season. He had a career. No, he didn't. He almost had a career year. His second best year of his career. No, his third best year of his career, and he retires after it. Oh my goodness. What a career for Alexander Barkov. 1,400 points for him. That's a crazy year. Johnny Gaudreau also goes out 1,300 points in 1,400 games. He goes out with the Avs, who lost in the Western Conference Finals, I think. Then JT Miller with the Canucks. He is going to go out at a 75 overall. Jonathan Marchessault, he's just under 1,000 points, 5 points away. Close one there for him. Nick Schmaltz is gone. Andrei Burakovsky, he's got a ring with the Avs. Alex Tuch is here. He's still an 86 overall, and he goes out. Andrew Mangiapane, who just got traded for a second-round pick, I think, in the real world. I don't exactly remember. Here's Jared McCann. These guys are, no, Jared McCann in Chicago here. Arturi Lehkonen, who was an 80 overall, eating up $3.56 million of Montreal salary. I thought it was more than that, but I guess not. Shea Theodore goes out with the... Who does he go out with? Seattle Kraken. Okay, fair enough. Connor Garland's gone. Alexander Wenberg, William Karlsson, Tyler Bertuzzi, all these guys down here. Anybody interesting? I mean, Alexander Barabanov has 585 points. Crazy. Andrew Kopp, former Winnipeg Jet, had 525 points in his career. Good to see him. Jonas Brodin, our dear beloved Jonas Brodin, man. Oh, what a player this guy was with us. After leaving us, what did he do? 20 points, 20 points, 15 points. I mean, he still got it done. But look at this with us. He had 28 points plus 20, 16 points plus 7, 25 points plus 8, 30 points plus 8. How many years did we have him? 37 points in his first full season with us. What a monster, man. He was with us for like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in the blue. And I said the blue and white. Do Winnipeg call it the blue and white or the blue and red? I don't really know. But a crazy career for Jonas Brodin. His jersey might be up in the rafters for Winnipeg. Probably not, but, you know, we can dream about it at least. Jonathan Drouin, Ross Colton, Ryan Bullock, Brett Pesce. Any other former Jets here that we can look at? And it's not looking like it, so we're going to go down to goalies now and see Vitek Vanacek, who had an insane career, 906 save percentage, 2.97 goals against average, but 361 wins, 248 losses, gnarly stuff. Here's Tristan Jarry, 310 wins, 237 losses, crazy. Linus Allmark, current Senator, by the way. What a fleece we did. We picked him up at the deadline. He dropped in overall, but 304 wins, 217 losses, 910 save percentage, 2.91 goals against average. That's some good stuff. Jordan Binnington is here. Chris Driedger, Casey DeSmith, Alex Nedeljkovic, Eric Comrie, Joey Decord, former Sen, Antoine Bibeau. Oh my gosh, crazy stuff. Yeah, but that Linus Allmark trade for the Sens. Oh my god, what a fleece. Okay, either way, that's everybody. Nobody in Winnipeg except for Linus Allmark goes out, right? Oh, that's Washington. Sorry, hang on. Linus Allmark in... also Colton White. Okay, fair enough. So he was 35. We picked him up in the free agency. Nothing really special there. Sorry, goalies. Linus Allmark. Yeah, okay. Cool. So that is your 2032 retirement class. Speaking of retirements in the real world, the Hall of Fame inductees, I think, just came out, right? Shea Weber's on there. I think Pavel Datsuk's on there as well. So a couple of interesting names. I saw some Shea Weber hate out there, and people forget that this guy was in like runner-up in Norris trophies a couple of times. He was crazy in his prime. He has like 3 rings or 3 gold medals or something like that. That's crazy career for Shea Weber. I don't like the Shea Weber hate, bro. Okay, who else is here? Coach retirements. Do we have any retirements for us? No, it doesn't look like it, so that's beautiful. Okay, and now we are here at the NHL entry draft, and I'm not gonna lie, boys, I don't really have a plan going into it, so the best plan is to not have a plan, right? So let's just jump in there and see what happens. I mean, I don't know. What's the worst that can happen? The second overall pick wants to move. We're not going to move up for it, boys. We're not going to move. Are we going to move up for the second overall pick? No, we can't, right? Surely we can't. We have two centers now. We can't move up for the second overall pick. Do we need a left winger? Sniper? No, we don't need more snipers. Two-way forward. But look at this name, Cameron Von Arx. And isn't there another Von Arx in Arizona? Ah, man. You're tempting me, game. You really are tempting me. Offensive defenseman. Do we pick up who could have been Liam Karlsson? No, I don't think we have the value for it anyways. We could trade Joel Shepard probably for Orlando Davis, but I don't really think I want to. Interesting stuff. Okay, we have the, what pick do we have? We have the 28th overall selection. Okay, so the Stars have lied to me again. These dang scouting stars here. Yeah, they think we have like the 20th pick. None of these guys are going to be available at number 28, bro. I promise none of those guys are going to be available at 28. At 28, so I'm probably going to pick up this guy, Pavel Shubarev. He's 6'5", a defensive defenseman, 3 years away, cycle pinch, so he fits our scheme and all that stuff. Probably move up a couple of picks just to guarantee that I get him. And that's going to be all we do for the draft. So let's go through the first like 5 picks or so right now here. Two-way forward, excuse me, Recchi, Asher Recchi goes first. Two-way forward, pretty well-rounded. He can skate, so that's good. A lot of prospects can't skate for some reason, which you don't like to see in the game. I'm not talking about in real life. Jermaine Mackey, sniper, only 4.5 star shooting. Wow, 79 overall. Okay, see, I'm happy we didn't pick him up because, oh my gosh. And here's Ilya Fanasenkov, excuse me, 5-star shooting, good skater, poor physical, but that'll grow as he progresses. Next up is Christian Von Arx, two-way forward. Yeah, nothing special here with the medium elites. I mean, they're medium elite, so they're special, but you guys know what I mean. Like, no crazy attributes or anything like that. Orlando Davis, good skater, decent offensive awareness, okay defensive stats, but yeah, again, nothing too insane. The overalls are a bit low here for the most part, so that's kind of interesting to see. But now everybody's basically going to be the same type of player, medium top 6, you know, medium top 6 forward, medium top 4 defenseman, all these guys here. And do I just risk it and just wait at 28 and hope that our guy doesn't get taken? Maybe I just risk it, bro. Maybe I just risk it. But after him, there's really nobody that I'm interested in. I guess I could go with Logan O'Coin if we don't get the guy that we want. But he's 5'9", two-way forward, not exactly the same thing. We could go for the sniper. Does he have, like, A shooting? He does have A shooting, so maybe we go for him, similar to Mike Gartner. Sure he is. Anybody else here? All right, you know what? I'm just going to risk it, man. You only live once. Let's just see who's at our pick. Let's simulate a couple of more picks, though. Yeah, I mean, all these guys are just going to be like mid-60s and then medium top 6 forwards or medium top 4 defensemen, right? They're all just going to be the same type of a player. Okay. Oh, medium elite offensive defenseman here. Wow, I didn't even know about this guy. Christoph Grellinger, offensive defenseman, medium elite, 68 overall, so he's a low overall. But yeah, he was in the ice. I don't scout the ice. I don't scout the ice or the Allsvenskan, I think it is. So I don't scout ice or Allsvenskan. So sometimes a couple of guys sneak through the cracks, but for the most part, we have everybody uncovered. High top 6 defenseman here. Yikes, that's tough. Okay, so let's just simulate 2-hour pick. Hope the low elite guy didn't get taken, and he did not. Beautiful to see. And who has gone here in the draft? Any like high overalls or anybody ready? Yeah, this guy here, bang, defensive defenseman, left-handed defensive defenseman, 6'2". Yeah, okay, he's fine. He'll be ready in a couple of years. Stefan Bolig, sniper, 4-star shooting, good to see. Lorenzo Ramsey, offensive defenseman. We knew about this guy, skating pretty decent. Nicholas Ackerland, again, we knew about him, 4-star shooting. Anybody else? Doesn't really look like it. Okay, so now we get to our pick. And again, this is just a potential pick. Hopefully for the future, he will grow here. It's Pavel Chubarov from Ukraine, defensive defenseman, played in the Russian League. Welcome to the Winnipeg Jets organization with the 28th overall selection. We are proud to select from the Russian League, Pavel Chubarov. You are 65 overall, low elite defensive defenseman. Here's a look at his stats. Decent defense, decent skating, decent physical. That's what I want from a defensive defenseman, man. I don't really care about the offense, the senses, things like that. If you're a defensive defenseman, you just got to keep that puck out of the net and play physical. All right, our next pick is at number 60, so let's move up in the draft here. No, I do not want to trade for a 4th and a 5th next year. Thank you very much, Philadelphia. And we'll see who went past us, if we missed anybody insane or anything like that. I'm pretty sure we didn't, but let's just take a gander here. Medium top 9, medium top 6 defenseman. Yeah, I mean, it gets rough here. Here's Hanzus. We knew about him. Playmaker, low elite. Yeah, pretty much the same as our guy. Here's another one, Logan. Oh no, we knew about Logan O'Coin. We didn't know about Hanzus, I don't think. But Logan O'Coin looks a little bit better anyways, so that's okay. Anybody like NHL ready? Or close to, like in the 70s, mid 70s, anybody maybe? Doesn't really look like it, huh? Yeah, a bit of a weaker draft depth-wise, I guess. But that's okay because we're gonna reach down here and we're gonna take Brendan Donnelly. Where's this guy from? Yeah, he's from Hungary, so Brendan Donnelly, I hope you're hungry to get into the Winnipeg jersey because you're going to need to really train if you want to reach your potential. You're 5 years away. Brendan Donnelly, the 60th overall selection. Welcome to the Winnipeg Jets organization, my friend. You're 51 overall, but that is more than okay. Okay, boys, we're going to try to trade down 16 spots. I guarantee I'm not going to be able to get this pick, but what do you say, Florida? Are you going to want to do this? You need to sweeten the value just a touch. You're on something, man. That's ridiculous. Okay, fair enough. We'll just take our guy at pick 75 then. We're at pick number 75, by the way. I can show you the guys who went before if you would like, but we can also just go ahead and take our guy, and it is Marcus Fleischmann here, offensive defenseman, medium elite. He's 20 years old, but he's got 5 years until he's in the NHL. He also has sickle pinch. An offensive defenseman, they can grow a little bit faster. So the German, Marcus Fleischmann from the Dell, welcome to the Winnipeg Jets organization. 54 overall, I will take that. I'll show you guys the rest of the people who went in the second round and then also the third round, but really you're not missing out on too much, just for any of those who are interested. I'll show you guys a quick little look here. Low top 4. Okay, other than that, there's nothing. Then in the third round, what do we have? Really nothing here. No great potential players. And then we have our medium elite Fleischmann. Okay, there you go. Now we move up to 107, but I'm going to make a quick trade. All right, let's see if Minnesota will do this. I'm trading you 107. You're moving up 33 spots for a, you're moving up 33 spots and all you're giving away is a 7th. Will you do this, Minnesota? Yeah, of course. You're laughing in my face. It's ridiculous, man. You can't trade up for anything in this game. Oh my gosh. Or trade down, sorry, for anything in this game. So with my pick, I'm just going to reach because I can't even get a seventh round pick in value. It's ridiculous. So with our next pick, we are going to pick up Nico Tukio. I'm super excited about this guy. He's a playmaker and he's 2 years away at low elite despite being ranked 150 or 147. So love this guy. I think he's going to be a great player. Hopefully he can make that NHL team. He's 70 overall out the gate already. Playmaker, 81 passing. What's his defensive stats look okay? His senses look okay as well. Poise is super low. That's dragging his overall down. His skating is really low as well. So a year in the AHL. Maybe we leave him in the, where was he? The SHL? Yeah, maybe we leave him in the SHL for 1 year, then bring him to the AHL, then bring him on the NHL roster and see what happens with that. But I'm really happy with that pick. Okay, boys, I'm going to try something here. I'm moving down to a 7th round pick this year, and all I want in return is a 5th. Okay, what do you say? Arizona? Rejected. Not sufficient at all. So you just can't move picks in this game, I guess. You just can't move anything in this game, huh? Okay, I'm also going to give you Alsner's contract. What do you say to this now, huh? What do you say to this now? Rejected. You've done all right. The value is not sufficient at all. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I guess this is really the only thing that I can do here. So we're going to give away a 7th for a 7th, and then we're going to trade a 4th for a 5th. I know this looks insane, boys, but I need picks next year. I'm giving away a pick next year to get a better pick next year. And at the 4th round selection, there's really nothing, and I'm going to be getting a low elite player with this one. So I think it's a fine trade. On paper, it looks bad for us, but what do you say, Arizona? If you don't accept this, there's something wrong with this for sure. Yeah, I'm happy to accept this proposal. Yeah, of course you are. All right, boys, and with that, basically our draft is done. We just got to move to pick number 212 here, the pick that we just got for a 7th. Essentially, we traded a 7th for a 7th, and we're going to be able to select from Estonia, right? That's the Estonian flag, isn't it? I think so. Boris Nikulin. Let me just look up if that's the Estonian flag. Yeah, that is Estonia. I'm not going crazy. Okay, so there we go. Boris Nikulin from Estonia. Welcome to the Winnipeg Jets organization. You are 63 overall, low elite. It's basically the same as the guy we drafted in the first round. Defensive defenseman, 6'4". Love to see that. And then last but certainly not least here with the 220th overall selection, we are going to be picking up from Norway, Corey Leclerc. Welcome to the team, my friend. 52 overall, medium elite goalie. Let's just get another one of you guys in the system. He's 20 years old, but that is okay. And that is our draft there, boys. Again, we didn't move any of the older guys. That's because we're going to give them the proper send-off in the re-sign phase, but a great draft from us, if I do say so myself. And now it's time that we get to that re-sign phase. So first things first here, guys, we're going to go to all expiring. and it's time that we clean house. We'll start it off with Zach Werenski here. We'll just go in order. Zach Werenski, I mean, this guy has been an absolute monster with us. He's been with us for how many years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 years. Now, he's put up so many points. He's been a plus every single year, his lowest being a +3. He's been +20 basically consistently. This year, he was a +52. He deserves a heroic send-off, and he's gonna get one here with us. I'm sad to see him go. He was an 87 overall, especially in the regular season. He's a monster out there. He can really put up great points. But with us, we just don't have the spot for him, and unfortunately, he's just got to go. Look at his fit as well. That pinch balance fits great on the first and third lines. But unfortunately, Zach, we thank you so much for your time here. But all good things must come to an end, and I'm sad to see you go, but I wish you nothing but the best with your next teams. See you later, Zach Werenski. So that one hurts there, but, you know, these things, they must be done. Next up, Eric Chernak. Yeah, you can get out of here, bro. I don't really care. Actually, wait, should we try to keep Chernak? No, you're kind of old. What do you want as a contract? What do you want? 5 mil? Yeah. Bye. Okay. As the great NSYNC once said, bye. There's Eric Chernak. He's gone. Next up, oh, man, it's just the big boys now, huh? Kyle Connor, Nikolai Ehlers, Josh. I thought we had a bit more people that I could say goodbye to, but no. Okay, we're gonna start with Nikolai Ehlers here. Ehlers, you know, when we started this, you were one of the only people performing for me in the playoffs. I will say he spent his entire career in Winnipeg. I'm sure his retirement is coming up soon, and when it does, number 2017 will be hanging, or number 2017. What the heck? Number 27 will be hanging in the rafters. You've been with us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 seasons. 17 years of his life he's dedicated to this team. About half of his life he's dedicated to this roster. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. He was basically a 70-goal scorer or 70-point scorer in his prime here. He had an 80-point season in year number 2 that we did that. He was usually a plus player. We could rely on him, especially in the playoffs here when we won the cup. 20 points in 23 games at the age of 35. He was doing it. And then the other year we won the cup, 21 points in 26 games. But he also showed up in the other deep runs that we had here. 23 points in 21 games. Okay, only 13 in this one, but he was a +8. He was still doing his job. Look, 18 points in 19 games. He was a playoff performer for us, even when we barely played any games. 8 points in 6 games here. That's when we should call and go, I'll never forget that series. Oh my gosh. 4 points in 6 games is good. 8 points in 11 games, that's good. This guy always showed up for us in the playoffs, except this year. But again, 36 years old. Nikolai Ehlers, I'm sad to see you go, my friend, but I wish you nothing but the best in free agency. I hope you go and chase a bag. How much? Oh, wait, hang on a second. Wait, I was about to send this guy up, but he only wants 2 mil for an 83 overall, boys? Wait, for an 83 overall, that's actually... Hang on, did I just do all that for nothing? What does Josh Morrissey want? 1 year, 6 mil. Yeah, okay, Josh Morrissey's gone. But Nikolai Ehlers, 1 year on Ehlers, 2.35 mil? Wait, hang on. For a fourth liner, that's as good as you're gonna get. I'm gonna do this. I don't care. I'm doing this. 1 year. I just spewed this guy's entire career with us, and now I'm gonna try to give him a contract. I was buttering him up, boys. Just buttering him up for the contract negotiations. Okay, Nikolai Ehlers, I'm giving him a contract. I know that wasn't in the plan, but this guy's been a player performer. He's just gonna play fourth line time. It's fine. He's not gonna be on the power play, nothing. He's just gonna play fourth line time. He can play fourth line time. You can play fourth line time for me. He still has good offense awareness, even good defense awareness. I mean, his defense is a little low, but if all else fails, 2.5 mil for a depth guy, that's fine. I don't really care. That's fine with me. We have tons of money, so it's okay. Okay, next up. Okay, wait. First off, how much does Kyle Connor want? So, yeah, okay, you're gone. You're gone, bro. You're gone. All right. So, Kyle Connor, 35 years old, assistant captain, never reached that captaincy, but that's totally okay. He was close to that 50-goal mark, which he never quite achieved with us. Maybe he will with somebody else, but he got 48 as a career high there in 2030-31, which was just 2 years ago. 97 points as well. This man was a guaranteed superstar with us. He was a bona fide superstar. He could do it all. He can score. He can pass. He takes 300 shots a year with great shooting percentages. He's a plus player as well, playing with Cole Perfetti and guys like that. So this guy, he really carried our franchise for the hefty majority of these regular seasons here. He's basically over a point per game player pretty much for every single year. And we definitely thank him for his service in that. And then he moves to a lesser role on the second line here, and he still puts up almost point per game, 79 points in 82 games. So Kyle Connor, you are a monster. He was almost the Conn Smythe winner the last time that we won the Cup. The first time we won the Cup, he was a great contributor, 20 points in 25 games. He was over a point per game the year we went to the second round. I think we went to the second round here. Couple of Western Conference appearances, he did his part, 18 points in 21 games. Down here, this was a monstrous performance from Kyle Connor. I think we went to the Western Conference Finals in this year. 26 points in 19 games. He was carrying us through that postseason. It was insane to watch. This guy was always just coming up with big goals, and he's done that his entire career here in Winnipeg. But it's time to say goodbye, my friend. He spent 15 years here on the Winnipeg Jets roster, man. Since he's 20, he's been on this team. I'm sad to see him go, but I hope he chases his bag, and I know that he's going to do great things wherever he ends up. Kyle Connor, rest in peace, my friend. I mean, you're not dead, but see you in the next one, bro. I have great faith in you. Oh, that one hurts. Okay. This one's going to hurt as well. Josh Morrissey, he wants $6 million. I can't give him $6 million to be a third pairing defenseman. I just can't do it. Our captain, that means we need a new captain going into this next season, and I know who it's going to be. I already know. But our captain since we traded Adam Lowry, he has been our captain probably for like a couple of years, 4 or 5 years, something like that. Oh my gosh, this guy, has he won a Vezina with us? Did he win a Vezina? Oh my gosh. Did he win the Norris? Maybe when he scored 79 here? I don't know if he's ever won the Norris. I think probably Cale Makar had like 100 points that year or something insane. I think I remember that. But either way, Josh Morrissey, he's been that bona fide point getter on the blue line. He's done everything that we've needed him to do. First year, rough, 34 points, 58 games. But then he steps it up with 73, and then he's just a 60-point scorer from there on out with 79, exploding for 79 when he had Joel Shepherd on his right. So we put him along the right guys from the start, if we had a medium elite defenseman to throw him alongside of, I'm sure he might have had more 70-point seasons, things like that. But still, he carried this lifeless blue line corpse here that we were trying to build ever since we came into the organization. We really focused on that blue line, and to start off, it was brutal, and he carried these guys through season after season, leading the blue line. He was the first guy over the boards every single shift, whether it was power play or penalty kill, it didn't matter. He was doing it all for us, and it really shows on these point totals. I mean, he has 783 points in the Winnipeg Jet colors, 1,198 games played. He's been here for 16 years. So, I mean, Morrissey, Kyle Connor, and Nikolai Ehlers basically all been here for 15, 16, or 17 years, and they really came up, and each and every night they put their heart on their sleeves. They showed out for this team. Nikolai Ehlers, Josh Morrissey, he was an amazing, amazing captain for us. He led our boys into the battle every single night. He got a Stanley Cup with us as well. He was able to lift that trophy high over his head and be proud that he could do it twice with the Winnipeg Jets. I'm not sure if he was the captain here. I think he might have been, actually. But he was able to do it twice with us, and we salute you. We thank you for everything you did with the organization. But with that being said, it's time that you go find a new home. Say goodbye to your kids for me. I know, seeing them around the rink and all this stuff, your wife and your kids, glad to see them constantly support the team, but it's on to bigger and better things for you, my friend. Good luck in your future. Oh man, it's tough. Okay, now all the solidarity's out of the way here. What do these guys want for contracts now? Oh, that's much more reasonable, Matt. Thank goodness you finally came to your senses. That's so much more reasonable. 6 years, 12.75 mil. That's much more reasonable. Elliot Patrick, what do you want, bro? What do you want? 4 years, 8 mil. Okay, that's still kind of a lot for Elliot Patrick. I'm not going to lie. We'll qualify him for now. Come back to him July 1st or whatever it is. Melvin Barker, 3 years, 5.75 mil. 1 year, we could go 1 year, 5 mil. Then we could maybe try to get him a bit cheaper, because I can do the 85% trick in the regular season. Is that cheese, though? Kind of, eh? That's kind of cheese. Maybe he would probably want a bridge deal. Yeah, he would probably want a bridge deal. 4 years, 6 mil. He would have to play second line if we're giving him that kind of money. Okay. Maybe I'll qualify and wait on you as well. Anybody else that wants to come back is just a whatever kind of a move here. Wyatt Johnston, you want 1 year, 2.625 mil. What do you say to that? McConnell Barker, you were a decent fourth line. You were a pretty good fourth liner for us, right? Yeah, +8. Yeah, we'll take that. And just for like league minimum, basically. Yeah, there you go. 1 year, 1 mil. Have that. And Dylan Holloway, he probably doesn't want to come back because he was a healthy scratch, but you know, he's an 81 overall power forward. He's a first round draft pick. Maybe he could be okay. We can bring him back on a depth deal probably. 1 year, 1.35 mil. He probably won't be very happy with it. But now it's about Matt Svensson. So Matt, we'll do 6 years on you. I'm tempted to go 8, but 8 and 14 mil is kind of crazy. So we can do 6 years. All right, so we're going to start the negotiations a bit low. We're going to go 6 years, 11 mil. Okay, we're going to come down $1.75 million and see what you say to that. Again, not expecting you to sign. Just want to see where you're at, what kind of money you would want to accept. What about Tyson Hines? He was a pretty good sixth defenseman for us. He could come back maybe. But again, I don't want to overpopulate the blue line because we do have guys like Karlathy here, the Targaryen who we want to sign. Anybody else? Yeah, Eric Dowd is here. Peyton Hines really was kind of a bust, so we can just let him walk. Peyton Hines, he was a fourth-round pick. Actually, a fourth-round pick. It's not really a bust to be a 76 overall, but offensive defenseman. He has great puck skills, but everything else kind of a bit low. So Peyton Hines, if you want a two-way deal, I'll bring you. But no, you want a one-way deal. Okay, so Peyton Hines, see you later. Matthias Ackerman, he was somebody that we drafted in year number like 3 or something like that. 5th-round pick, low top 4 defenseman again. He didn't really grow into anything. He wants a one-way deal, so we'll let him walk as well. Then we've got a couple of these guys that we have to sign here. Brookbank and Lowe. They are both low elite players. Brookbank is a 72 overall. He is a grinder. Oh my gosh, grinder with 4.5-star puck skills and 4.5-star physical. What the heck? He's playing on the first line on the AHL, bro. He's playing on the first line in the AHL. I don't care. And then George Lowe, playmaker with 4-star puck skills. Okay, maybe this guy should. But look at everything else is horrible, though. Like, I hate players like this. It's so weird. All right, so let's see what Matt Svensson says here. Will he accept that? Okay, Nikolai Ehlers is on. So we gave him a discount. He wants to come back. Thank you very much, Nikolai Ehlers. Brookbank is out here. Wyatt Johnston's back. Dylan Holloway, yeah, he didn't want it because he didn't want the years. He wanted 2 years instead of 1. George Lowe is on. All these other depth guys. Okay, Matt Svensson, you rejected the contract offer. Okay, some more money could persuade me. So 6 years, 11 mil for Matt Svensson wasn't enough. We'll go 6 years, 11.5 mil and see what he says to that. Just trying to move the needle a little bit here. 11.5. What do you say, Matt? Oh wait, did his demand change? I could have sworn it was 6 years, 12.75, but now it's 12.775. So 11.5 mil. What do you say, Matt Svensson? We'll see what you say to that, brother. Okay. Dylan Holloway is also here. He wants 2 years. Maybe I'll just see Dylan Holloway in free agency type of a thing. He wants to come back though. So maybe he's giving us a bit of a... Okay, Dylan Holloway. Also, I didn't want to forget about this. We do have... What's this guy's name? Torsten Gunderson, who is 22 years old, 67 overall medium elite goalie that we can sign for that AHL team. So that's beautiful. And now we just have to worry about these 3 big dogs, huh? So, Matt, what do you say to 11.5 mil now? What do you say? Easy decision for Milic. Okay, he still rejects. Fair enough, Matt. He really wants to get paid this offseason. Let's just qualify him just so that I don't go too far and make him walk to free agency without meaning to. All right, so the next step in the plan is, do we sign Dylan Holloway? Let me check the forwards on the main roster, the guys who are here. Oh, look at this. Sam Kennedy also up now to a high elite 91 overall player. That's going to be bad for contract negotiations, I'll tell you that. But hey, love to see his overall getting up there. So we have Perfetti, Kennedy, Svensson, Eklund, Patrick, Barker, Tomasino, Pinto, and insert another player. Then Ehlers, Johnston, and Kupari. We don't need Dylan Holloway. We have McConnell Barker as our 13th or 14th forward. So there goes Dylan Holloway. We can let him walk to free agency. That's fine by me. So now it's really just about these RFAs, huh? Really just about these RFAs that we got to sign. So Matt Svensson, he didn't want 6 years, 11.5 mil. What do you say to 6 years, 11.8 mil? 11.775 mil. What do you say? 1 million less than you're asking for, I know. And what about these guys? Elliot Patrick, you still want a lot. 4 years, 8 mil. I don't love it. I would rather get you like 4 years, 6.5 mil was kind of what I was thinking. But you're an 85 overall. You were a 50 goal scorer. I can't lie. That's kind of nice. 50 goal scorer, 8 mil? It seems right, but his overall seems so low. But he plays well. Melvin Barker at 6 mil was, 3 years, 6 mil for Melvin. Wait, was this always what it was? Yeah, this is always what it was. I was debating the 1 year deal, right? 1 year, 5 mil, and then we try to get him. Yeah. I think this is a fair deal, actually. We go 1 year, 4.775 mil. Then for next year, because I can give him the 85% trick because we're in, it's an extension rather than a free agency thing, we can probably get him for like 6 mil for the next 5 years or something like that. It's kind of cheese, though, isn't it? What's his career looked like, Melvin Barker? Melvin Barker, he's played 4 years with us, 33 points, then a crazy 73, and then he was a kind of a 59, 58 point guy. So maybe he's just going to want a 1 year deal, huh? And then somebody else try to cash in on his potential. I think that would make sense, right? If he just wanted a 1 year deal where he's just given all the opportunity, he's given first line time, first power play time to score as many goals as possible, be that 40 goal scorer once again, or potentially be that 40 goal scorer once again, or if he decides, yeah, I want to re-sign with you guys. I think that would make sense. But if we did a 1 year thing, I'd probably have to wait until the end to evaluate. I probably couldn't just give him a like 6 year 5.6. Yeah, that'd be cheese. Okay, I don't want to cheese the system, so we'll keep it like this for now, and we'll see what Matt Svensson says to 6 years. What did I give him? 6 years, 11.775. Okay, so Matt Svensson's now becoming a bit of a problem here. 6 years, 6 years, 12 mil, 12.25 mil, 6 years. I mean, we have to give this guy a ton of money. He's like he was a 99 point scorer this year. Yeah, we got to give him whatever he wants, huh? 6 years, 12.25 mil for Matt Svensson. What do you say, brother? Come on board. No more dilly-dallying. No more, I don't want to resign. I want to test out the free agency market. No. None of that stuff. Come on board. Thank you very much. Easy decision. I knew it. There you go, Matt Svensson. Welcome back to the team. Now, with that signing, we still have $24 million. And remember, boys, we've got 1, 2, 3 defensemen. So we need another 3 defensemen here. And we have $24 million. Let's say we can get our third pair defenseman for like 3 mil or so, but money is tough to come by. That would be 6 mil. We would still have $18 million. It's going to be close. It's going to be actually closer than I thought it was going to be. But that's okay. You know, we're prepared. We are prepared to deal with the cap consequence. So for that reason, do I sign Tyson Hines then? I think I signed Tyson Hines. He wants 2 years. I'll give him 1 year, 1.4 mil, because we know he can be a defense, or we know he can slot in on that fourth pair. I think this is a smart investment. He can, or the third pair, sorry, in case we have to, because the salary is going to be a little close. It's going to be a little close. So we'll see what he says to that deal. Everything else looks okay. Let's go a couple of days here until free agency, but we're really not going to be checking out free agency too much. Easy decision for Tyson Hines. Thank you very much, my friend. Don't cause me a big headache here. The AHL coaches and stuff I'll look at. Same thing. Oh, I didn't sign the scouts. That's actually a problem. Okay, let me sign these scouts back. Hang on. That's actually a real big problem. I didn't even realize that. So I've signed the scouts, or I've signed like 9 or 10 scouts or something like that. I also signed an AHL coach and things like that. So let's see. There's a lot of guys with expiring contracts. Sam Kennedy, what does he want for the next couple of years? He wants... Bro, look at this. This is insane, right? This is so insane. Okay, that's not happening, obviously. Philip Tomasino would want to come back on a crazy deal also. Okay, so he's probably gone after this year. Nice to see. Elliot Patrick now wants 3 years, 7.75. 4 years, 7 mil for Elliot Patrick. Second line center / left wing. 4 years. Can we get 4 years, 6.5 mil for Elliot Patrick? That would be nice. And what about Melvin Barker? What does he want? Melvin, 3. Thank you, Melvin. That's exactly what I wanted to give you. 4 years? 4 years, 5 years? Hang on, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years? No, 8 years is 8 years, 6 mil for no, okay, maybe that's a little too much. 6 years. 5 or 6 years is the deal. It's got to be 5 or 6 years. I think 6 years. We match him with, Yeah, 6 years matches him with Matt Svensson. We'll give him exactly what he wants. 6 years, 5.425. Melvin Barker, thank you very much, my friend. There you go. Elliot Patrick now. Can you also take a 6-year deal? We can have this trio for 6 years? No, you can't. But you can take a 4-year deal. 4-year, 7 mil for a second line left winger slash second line center slash first line power play, 50 goal scorer. Yeah, 4 years. Let's see if we can get a bit of a discount on him, though. 4 years, $6.55 million. What do you say, boys? Have at it. Oh, Stempniak also needs a contract here. Aiden Stempniak, what is he? What the? Bro! Stempniak, he wants $7.5 million, and all he's done is score a career high of 20 points. Who does this guy think he is, bro? Who does this guy think he is? Okay, those contracts are out. Now we have to go to free agency and pick up 3 defensemen, basically. Free agency defenseman. I'm not looking at Rasmus Dahlin. I'm not looking at any of these guys really, unless Rasmus Dahlin doesn't have any contracts by like, a couple of like many days. But I mean, look at all these contracts. These are insane. Here we go. Marino, John Marino. Yeah, John Marino, 80 overall. He's 35 years old. He might fall off, but he wants a cheap deal. Okay, this guy is better though. Havlid, but he's an offensive defenseman, so that's not great. Yeah, that's really not great. I do not want offensive defensemen. Vince Dunn's out here. Okay, Vinny, we can bring Vinny back. Vinny Iorio. We had him for a little bit. We can bring him back maybe. But these contract demands are insane, right? Christian Kairou's here, but 81 overall, 5.3. Like, what is this nonsense, bro? Adam Juracek, 6.3 mil. What about for, like, less years? Does your demand come down? Yeah, but barely, right? Like, it's insane, bro. These guys think they're, like, these guys all think they're top 4 defensemen when they're really not. Josh Morrissey's out here, obviously. Oh, my God. What is this? Like, when an 87 overall is asking for 2 mil more than an 83 overall, we've got problems. We've got real big problems. I'm just going to have to go cheap, aren't I? I'm just going to have to go... Or maybe I just wait a little bit. Take a bit of a breather. Just wait for a second. I'm looking at Vinny. But, like, these guys in the middle here... I would love to get Eric Chernak, but not for 5 mil. But also he might come down. I would love to get Jussi Välimäki, but not for 5 mil. I would spend like 3.5 mil on him, somebody like that. Same thing with Artem Zub. I'm not spending 5 mil on you. It's just nonsense, right? It's just absolute nonsense. Adam Juracek, same type of a thing. I'd love to get Adam Juracek. He's young. He's big, right? Is he? Yeah, 6'3". But I'm not spending 6 mil on him. I'd spend like 4.5 mil on somebody like that, you know? It's just not worth it. Tobias Bjornfot wants... $6.7 million. This guy thinks he's Dougie Hamilton. Like, well, it doesn't make any sense, EA. I don't understand it. So, that's a big no for now. I mean, maybe I just go with Havlid. He's a decent depth guy. He can play AHL, I guess. 1 year, 1 mil for Havlid. Yeah, I mean, I might as well, right? Just give him 1 year, 1.5 mil and see what he says to it. It's not a big risk. If he says no, he says no. But nobody give him an offer, and he wants a super cheap deal as an 80 overall. He can come up and play some games if he absolutely has to, right? Okay, anybody who's fairly reasonable here? Okay, this guy's fairly reasonable. Jack Thompson, 3rd round pick in 2020. Except that his stats suck horribly, and he's only 6 feet. It's a little bit smaller. It's crazy that I'm saying 6 feet is small, but you guys know what I'm talking about. His defensive awareness is horrible. No thanks. Alec Regula, 6'4". Okay, maybe this guy. But again, sense is horrible. I don't need him to be offensive, but you've got to have a head on your shoulders. Good physical category, good defense category that really brings him up. But defensive awareness is bad. Shot blocking and stick checking are great. He's also asking for 4 mil. What about for 1 year? Are you asking for 2 mil? 2 mil or under? 3 mil. 1 year, 3 mil for Regula. I think I was debating about this guy last season as well. Jake Wallman, maybe. Jake Wallman, I think, just got traded. Jake Wallman actually might be the best option here. Defensive defenseman, though, so maybe not great. But left-handed defensive defenseman, 19 points, plus 10. Who have I offered to? Hang on. I've approached Havlid. He's a righty, so I guess Jake Wallman would make sense as a lefty. But remember, I also kind of want to try to get some better players here. Henry Jokiharju is here. Rathbone is here. Okay, wait, hang on. What's Jake? But Jake Wallman has some decent stats. He's also not very expensive. This is so tough. This really shouldn't be this hard. And he's also 36. Nah, he's 36. He'll probably fall off. I need somebody big. Let me see. Regula's big. He's right-handed, though. Wallman is kind of big, I guess. 6'2". Yeah, 6'2 is probably like the cutoff, huh? 6'2", okay. Gustav Lindstrom, he was with us last year. He was fine. Okay, 6'1", maybe might have to be the cutoff. Brock Faber. Okay, maybe we bring in Brock Faber. He's a young guy. 3.425 mil. Okay, 3.4. You know what? 3.5 mil for a third pairing defenseman in this universe doesn't seem crazy. Right-handed, Brock Faber. Good defensive stats, decent skater. He's got a head on his shoulders. 83. I'm bringing in Brock Faber. He's not the Brock Faber of the real world, but I'm bringing him in. 3 years, 3.65 million. Let's just make sure we get him. $3.675 million for Brock Faber. There you go. So we have Brock Faber. We have Havlid. Now I need a lefty, really. I need a lefty here. Who could it be? Left defenseman. Hang on, left defenseman only. Let's take a look. Anybody who entices me. Anybody who's fairly young and fairly big. 6'2" for UC Valimaki, but he's asking for a boatload of money. Okay, let's start here. Vince Dunn, he's 6 feet. Ty Smith is short. I mean, all these left-handed guys are short, huh? Except for Jake Wallman. So let's bring in Jake Wallman, whatever. Again, our defensive core is not going to look fantastic after we lost Josh Morrissey and Zach Werenski. Not going to lie, it's not going to look great, but we bring in some guys, placeholders. Maybe we start a bit of a tank job. You know, not a full tank, but just a little bit of a tank just to, you know, get some more prospects in the pool. Also, remember, we still have the Targaryen Karlathy in the system who could come up and play some games. So we'll get Jake Wallman on for a year, and then I think that's going to be it. Contracts, I sent some contracts to both of these guys, right? Did I send them to both of them? Yes, I did. Okay. So we'll see what they say. And let's advance a few days here, and we'll see what all the free agents say and things like that. Actually, I need a forward as well, don't I? Okay, boys, I'm gonna give a contract here to Gavin Hayes, excuse me. Gavin Hayes, drafted in 2022 third round by Chicago. Here's why. Look at that shooting category, 4.5 stars. This guy could play with Shane Pinto and Philip Tomasino. He could be a discount Melvin Barker. Now, I'm not saying he's going to play there, but he wants a two-way deal anyways. He's a 78 overall, so it's not a risk in any way. Two-way deal is fine. Give him 2 years, 1 mil, two-way deal. It's totally fine. Another guy I'm looking at who could be more of a contributor on that third line is Brennan Othman. He's got great physical, 5-star physical, and 4-star shooting, which is really the two things I'm looking at most here. He's bad defensively, but hopefully Shane Pinto could make up for that. He has good offensive awareness, good puck skills. He's a great, offensive player. His defense is lacking a little bit, so is his skating, but I think he can maybe make an impact if he got the chance here with us. We'll give him we'll give him exactly what he's asking for. If he signs with us, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's not the end of the world, in my opinion. We have 12 guys on this roster anyways. I just want to kind of beef up that third line if I possibly can. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Sonny Milano was catching my eye. Any other guys who are catching my eye? Oh, also, by the way, I'm sorting by shooting, which is why we see so many weird overalls. Who else was Jeff Skinner? I was debating Jeff Skinner for like 1 year, 3 mil, but he's 40 years old. He's also a bit smaller, so we want to try to get a little big on the third line, which is why I was also debating Tyler Boucher. He's only 6'1", but he's got 4-star shooting, 5-star physical, 99 aggressive, 96 body checking. This guy could be a simulating monster. He also has pretty good defense, actually. So maybe we give a contract to Tyler Boucher as well and see exactly how these guys perform. I'll go 2 years, 2.325 mil. I'm giving out a lot of contracts right now, but we have the money to do it. It's not the end of the world here. Let's just see what these guys say, all right? So that's like 5 or 6 contracts off. I don't really know how many it was, but there we go. We'll see what everybody says. We don't need goalies. We don't need any of this stuff. So a couple of third line potential people that we signed contracts to or that we gave out contracts to. The scouts will come in, and I'll see you guys if any players sign. Oh my gosh, look at this. 2 second rounders for Patrick Laine? I didn't mean to decline an edit. I meant to take a look. Patrick Laine. Hang on a second, boys. 2 seconds for Patrick Laine. Is Patrick Laine garbage now? Is he horrible? Patrick Laine, where is he? Patrick Laine, 85 overall, crazy contract, sniper, 5-star shooter. This could be the exact guy that we need for the third line. Funnily enough, does he shoot a lot? Yeah, he kind of 300 shots. Yeah, about 300 shots when he was playing first line time. Now he's playing. I mean, he stopped shooting. He stopped shooting recently. What the heck? Weird. Okay, very, very strange. But 40 goal scorer. He could be the exact guy that we're looking for the third line, but he's just too expensive. I'm not paying $9 million to a third liner, boys. Maybe at the deadline I can pay $9 million if I have it to a third liner, but not before the season even starts, before we sign Barker and Elliot Patrick and all these other guys. So we'll take a break on that one, but that was interesting. All right, Jake Wallman is on board. A lot of these defensemen hopefully signing. Brock Faber's also on board. Melvin Barker's on board for 6 years. Huge contract. Thank you very much, Melvin. Gavin Haynes is on board. Tyler Boucher is on board. Brendan Othman and now Elliot Patrick. Will you sign? Hang on. Havlet. Okay, Elliot Patrick not on just yet. What about up here now? Oh, Brendan Othman had a good run in the playoffs. Brendan Othman was on the Oilers, wasn't he? Wait, did Brendan Othman get a Stanley Cup last year? Hang on a second. Oh no, Brendan Othman was in Montreal, so he actually lost in the Stanley Cup Finals, unfortunately. But that playoff experience could come in handy here in this season. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it'll have to, but we'll see here throughout the season. What does Elliot Patrick say? I believe the signing will be good for myself and the franchise. Let's go. So our second line is intact. Our first line is ready. It's just our defense that I'm mostly worried about here, boys. The defense could be an issue. So on defense here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defense. So that's good. We also have Hines, Karlathy, and Kreitzer here. We have $6 million of cap space, so I'm not going to be making any more moves, but just thought that, these guys were really the first two up, and maybe they'll even start in the NHL. I just really wanted to get some options, right? They don't cost too much, just a couple of options here. Brock Faber, I think, is a lock for that third pair, maybe the second pair, but the second pair seems kind of crazy, yeah. But he's definitely a lock for that third pair is Brock Faber. Maybe we could go with... Hang on, I'm just doing some quick calculations. Is Karlathy defensive? Yeah, he is defensive defenseman. Also, what does he want? Do you want a two-way deal now? Thank you very much, my friend. 2 years, two-way, $825. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay, so that's interesting. Goalies, good. Skaters, we have all these guys signed. How many AHL players? Hang on, I gotta do all this stuff. All right, so we are all good. I will simulate to the regular season. I've got to get an AHL coach and things like this, but I don't need to show you guys that. I'll simulate to the regular season, and I'll see you there. All right, boys, here we are at the start of the 2032-2033 season, and the first thing that we have to do is assign our captains and our alternate captains. So I'm going to be allowing you guys to chime in on this, but these will just be placeholders for who I think should be getting the awards, or not the awards, but getting the honors. And first up, I think we go with Nikolai Ehlers to receive the alternate, right? We're not going to get too crazy. The second alternate on the roster is going to be... I think we give it to Mats Svensson, and then our captain is going to be Cole Perfetti, boys. We have named Cole Perfetti the captain. Now, we might take the A off Nikolai Ehlers and throw it on a defense. I like having at least one defenseman. Maybe Corbin Mills gets the alternate, something like that. But we'll keep it on Ehlers for now. You guys chime in on who you think should be the captains, things like that. But I think that is an okay-looking team. Now, Ehlers dropped to an 81 overall. That's okay. Let's go here. Where's Melvin Barker is here, so I'll just do these lines real quick, how I think they should be. Eklund comes down here like this. Perfect. Sam Kennedy now has a gold X Factor, you guys. A gold X Factor for Sam Kennedy. And what do we trade him for? Gabriel Velarde and some medium elite defenseman? Yeah, I'll take that. The bad part is we're going to need to pay this man big time, but that's okay. Philip Tomasino comes to the third line now. Wyatt Johnston. Who did I have here? Oh, yeah, we didn't really know, right? So this is like a tryout between Boucher and Othman, really. Boucher and Othman. We'll start with Boucher because he's a bit bigger and things like that. But either way, those are the lines. Wait, no, those are not the lines. Who's my fourth line center? Yeah, Wyatt Johnston is my fourth line center. What do you guys think you're doing? So that's good. Defensively now, Stempniak is going to be on the first line with Corbin Mills. Jake Wallman has dropped to a 79 overall, so that's not great. Havlid could go up here and play with Joel Shepard, Wallman, and Faber. So we could get some chemistry like this, Aiden Stempniak and Corbin Mills, but it's not looking very good. If I was looking at this team, if I was playing against this team in the playoffs, I would be like, oh, we could roll over them. They have no defense, right? That's what I would be thinking in my head. That being said, let's go to the AHL and pick up some... Hang on, let me just make the do the roster moves and just see what we're working with in the AHL. potential, or yeah, Karlathy's now up to a 79 overall. Do we get Hines up here, or do we leave it? Kreitzer's also up here, so we'll bring Kreitzer up as well. And then for the NHL team, we'll throw down, I guess, Barker and Kupari, right? Are any of these guys? No, okay, I fixed my lines. Hang on. Who's not in the lineup? I swear, yeah, Kupari's not in the lineup, right? Yeah, okay, so we're good there. Okay, so now if we wanted to get Karlathy into the lineup instead of Havlid, we could do that with a +1. Two defensive defensemen on the same line, not too sure about it though. So we could go Havlid, Shepard, Karlathy, Faber like this. This is looking a little okay. Defensive, we could also go Stefan Kreitzer. He's a two-way defender, huh? He doesn't really fit the scheme that much. And when we brought him up last year, he still listed as a depth defenseman. He had no points, -3 in 9 games last year. But what did he do in the AHL? In the AHL, he had 28 points in 65 games, -17. Yeah, the AHL team wasn't great last year, but he played 25 minutes a night, so that's good at least. He blocks a lot of shots. Okay, Stefan. I mean, maybe we'll keep him up here for the preseason, and we'll throw them on like the second line together. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll the preseason we'll play like this. We'll play Shepard. We'll play Kreitzer here. These will be our preseason lines, and then our forwards I think will stay the same. I'll try out Boucher versus Othman and things like that, and we'll see what they play like. Power play, we're gonna have Elliot Patrick is gonna be our guy on the power play. He's gonna be our finish. Actually, should Sam Kennedy be the finisher instead of Elliot Patrick? Oh, maybe, huh? Because Sam Kennedy now has some crazy X factors. Okay, but let's see. Okay, so this will be power play line 1. We'll have Cole Perfetti taking the draw. Svensson will be the distributor to Sam Kennedy. Corbin Mills will be on the blue line, and Elliot Patrick will be on that wing taking those one-timers on his offside. Power play 2 now. Hang on, let me switch this up. Okay, boys, this is going to be the second power play unit. It doesn't look fantastic, but Eklund's the distributor. Melvin Barker is the shooter, all that jazz, so we know all of that stuff. Going to the penalty kill now, let me do all this. Okay, these are going to be the penalty kills here, just pretty much getting our best defensive players in there, high up in the lineup, so that's all good. Extra lines I'll take care of on my own, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, boys, after 20 minutes of my life going through all these lines and doing the scouting multiple times and all this nonsense, I'm finally back, and we are 2-3-1 at the last game of the postseason here. Let's go into our lines and see why we aren't playing well, and I'll tell you why. It's not because of the depth, it's not because of the moves that we've been making. In fact, the moves that we've been making are actually okay. The problem is the first two lines. Matt Svensson only has 3 assists, Cole Perfetti only has 2 points, Sam Kennedy only has 2 points. The second line, Elliot Patrick only has 2 points, William Eklund has 4 points, but he's a -5, and Melvin Barker only has 1 assist. So, maybe we look to do something like this in the regular season, I'm not entirely sure. For defense, though, this first line not getting it done. Aiden Stempniak, 1 assist, -3. Corbin Mills, 1 assist, -5. Now, the second line, Taro Karlathy, he was a -1. He was playing with Stefan Kreitzer, and he was also a -1. 1 assist, though, for Stefan Kreitzer. Joel Shepard is getting into the lineup for the first time. He hasn't played quite yet. And Brock Faber, 3 points, -1. I'll take that for a third pairing defenseman. In goal, we've seen Jesper Wallstedt 4 times. He's had great numbers, and Artur Sulovs has once again struggled mightily. So, hoping that that does not continue, but those are the problems going into our last game of the postseason. These are the lines we're going to be running with. We've chosen Brennan Othman over Tyler Boucher. Othman had 3 goals in 3 games. Boucher had nothing. Shane Pinto was lighting it up with 7 points. So is Philip Tomasino with 6. So that third line's doing great. We just need to get our top 2 lines involved in the offense now. First or last game of the postseason here up against the Dallas Stars. This will just be a quick run through here just to show you guys how the team simulates here. First period, that's going to be 4-2 for us. Corbin Mills, Cole Perfetti, Nikolai Ehlers, and Elliot Patrick get on the board for us. Second period, 5-3. Corbin Mills gets his second of the night. And third period, that's going to be 5-5. They tie it up in the third period. Classic third period collapse from us. Overtime solves nothing. Shootout now. That's going to be a win for the Dallas Stars. That's a huge collapse from us in that third period. Luckily, we saw some points, though. That's nice. But yeah, that stuff cannot happen in the regular season. Speaking of the regular season, we are oh my god, game. We're going to be moving into that now as we progress here. Although waivers are in effect October 13th, so I have to make finalizations to the lines, huh? So looking at waivers, looks like Kreitzer's the only guy who I can send down on waivers. So he might get the boot, to be honest with you. Yeah, Kreitzer's the only guy on the team who can get sent down on waivers. So if we need to change, it's going to be Kreitzer that leaves first, and then everybody else will follow after that. But I'm more than happy to continue on through to our first game up against the Dallas Stars here. It's the only game we're going to simulate through in this episode right now because I want to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on everything that happened, maybe some suggestions moving forward. We'll take a look at the trade blocks. I'll also take a look at some of the lines that I've told you guys about. For example, the LA Kings lines to see if Will Hoffman is there. Maybe that trade will happen in the next episode, but we will have to see. So Winnipeg versus Dallas. We are in Dallas here. Let's go here, boys. Let's start off the season strong. First period. Oh my God. 4-0 against the Winnipeg Jets. So these changes to make us simulate better on the slow sim so far have not proven fruitful. Chaz Lucius there, former Winnipeg Jet, he's going to score a power play goal. I mean, that's tough. Second period. Okay, hang on. We're kind of back into this. New Winnipeg Jet Brock Favor scores, and then Philip Tomasino gets one as well. We're only down by 2 now, boys. Let's find some grit. Let's find some determination. Let's do it. Come on, boys. Third period. Do not let me down. Do not let the fans down here. The passing of the guard has been complete. There's Elliot Patrick with one, and then Sam Kennedy ties us up at 4. Let's go, boys. That's what I'm talking about. This team can score goals. Oh my goodness. And the new Winnipeg Jet fan. No, Logan Stankoven scores on Sea Loves, though. Come on, boys. Late. Can we get one late? No, we can't. And that's going to be a 5-4 loss to open up the season. 3 stars of the night are Stankoven, Robertson, and Texier. How did we look in the stat category? Pluses for Corbin Mills with 2 points. He's a +2 as well. Nice. Matt Svensson showed up here for once. Elliot Patrick got us a goal. William Eklund got an assist. Brock Faber with a point. Brendan Othman with a point. Sam Kennedy, Philip Tomasino, all with points. Who was any crazy minuses? Stefan Kreitzer -1, but nothing insane. Joel Shepard -2. Yikes. And then Taro, what's his first name? Is his first name Taro? Taro Karlathy, I think. -1. So the second defensive pairing, not getting it done out there. But that's okay for now. So that's the one game that we're simulating today. Let me take a look at some of these lines that we know all too well. So if you guys were wondering about the Arizona Coyotes, they finally have Blake Von Arx there, although he is on their 4th line. I mean, they are so deep on the left side here. The team that took us out of the playoffs for some reason. I mean, even with their like 70 overall defensemen and things like that, they took us out. Philip Gustafson is now an 84 overall. All this stuff, that's Arizona. All right, over here in LA, the big question is whether Will Hoffman is still behind Brant Clark this year, and yes, he is. Wow, so they've played 2 games. Will Hoffman's a -2. If we're going to make the trade, now is the time. So let me know. Should we make this trade for Will Hoffman, for Joel Shepard? Let me know, boys. I'm kind of considering it based on how our team has simulated so far. Chaz Lucius, still a 3rd-line center here in Dallas, but he has 4 points in 2 games. Holy cow, Chaz Lucius is doing his thing over here. With Buffalo now, we might have a lot to do with this blue line of the future. And do we? There is Brody DeMarchi and Gale Crabb. They are line mates. 81 overall and 80 overall, respectively. Man, I wish we had these guys in the lineup right now. But hey, we gotta let things go to make big things happen. We let these 2 go alongside of Gabriel Velarde, who's a 3rd-line center this year. He's on the 3rd line with Asher Recchi, who was the 1st overall selection. So interesting to see. But we gave away Brody DeMarchi, we gave away Gale Crabb, we gave away Gabriel Velarde for Sam Kennedy, and Sam Kennedy's now a 91 overall, high elite. He's got gold X factor, so he's doing well for us. The defending Stanley Cup champions no longer have Leon Draisaitl here, but they did bring in Sam Reinhart to fill the hole. Not the same type of player, but still something to consider here. Edmonton is still looking good. And over here in Minnesota, boys, I forgot about this as well, but we have some old friends here in Minnesota now. Zach Werenski, he left us and he goes to Minnesota. He has 1 assist in 2 games so far. He's being partnered with Lassie Thompson, so Lassie Thompson's going to have the career of his, or the season of his career here. Zach Werenski, good luck in Minnesota, my friend. I'll look for our other guys as I keep going through here as well. All right, over here in Philadelphia, they've got Gunther, Michael Misa, Morgan Frost. They've got a pretty good team here. And on the blue line, we see Jacob Bernard Docker, former Winnipeg Jet. But more importantly, Our former captain, Josh Morrissey, he's got nothing in 3 games. He is a +1, though. He's only playing 10 minutes a night. These guys are disrespecting Josh Morrissey. Is he on the power play at least? He is on the first line power play. Okay, so Josh might be able to sneak in some points there. Josh Morrissey, he's now an 81 overall, getting paid 6.1 mil for the next 2 years. Good for you, Josh. Look at this. Pittsburgh picked up Leon Draisaitl in free agency, I think, 1 year, $9.370 million. Craziness. And here in Carolina, Kyle Connor is here. He's got 1 assist in 2 games. He's playing with Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov, so he's on a crazy good line. Hopefully he can have a fantastic season. He signed for 1 year, $7.44 million, so congratulations to Kyle Connor. He got paid. They also got Kevin Korchinski in free agency, so Carolina was a big player in free agency, and Kyle Connor is here. All right, so that does it for the lines and things like that. Now I'm going to take a look at the trade blocks and see who is on the blocks, who is not on the blocks here. So all these 2 guys, a lot of prospects here. There probably won't be too many players, although in saying that, Buffalo has a bunch of players here. Kulich, $2.78 million as an 87 overall. Kulich, he's 28, Yuri Kulich, 28 years old, 4-star shooting despite being a sniper. Weird player. Wow, okay, that's very strange. Owen Power's on the block here if we're looking to beef up the defense. That's lacking significantly. Maybe Owen Power and Joel Shepard on the second line could be better than what we have right now. Actually, it's definitely better than what we have right now, so that's interesting, but a lot of trade value there for Owen Power. Okay. Moving on, Calgary doesn't really have anything. Carolina, not really anything. Chicago, Brendan Hagel, but crazy contract. Colorado with nothing. Columbus, Patrick Laine is still on the block here, but an insane contract. Jacob Chikrin is here if we want to beef up that blue line. Romanov is here if we want to boof up that blue line, but nuts contract, so never mind. Dallas, they have got Logan Stankoven, but he's extended, so no thanks. Yeah, all these other guys on bad contracts. Detroit with nothing, Edmonton with Alex Turcotte, Florida with nothing, LA Kings with nothing, Minnesota with nothing, Montreal with nothing, Nashville with Daniel Sprong and Elias Lindholm, but bad contracts for both of them. The Islanders here, Josh Mahura as a depth defenseman. The Rangers with Cedric Guidon as an 80 overall. Fair enough. Philadelphia now with Logan Stanley, former Winnipeg Jet. Pittsburgh with nothing. San Jose with nothing. Seattle with Connor Zary. St. Louis Blues with Zachary Bolduc on a decent deal. Tampa Bay with Nikita Kucherov as an 80 overall. $5.8 million though. That's kind of crazy. Toronto with Jake DeBrusk. Alexei Heponiemi is here as a playmaker. You're okay. He's really a winger for sure, a left or a right winger. Good senses, good defensive awareness. He has no points in 3 games, -1. Yeah, tough to see stuff right now. Jameson Reese is also here. Okay, he's fine. Other than that, Mark Stone. Is this Mark Stone? Yeah, Mark Stone. Wow, okay, fair enough. And these guys are on pretty decent deals as well, so that's cool to see. Vancouver with nothing. Vegas, what a name. Dororier. Thomas Dororier. I don't know how to say that exactly, but there he is. And then Fleckman here as an 80 overall. I don't know. But they're both depth kind of people. Nothing really too crazy. Victor Loden. And that's what that looks like. Looking at, let me go down to the LA Kings just so I can show you guys this mock trade here. And we can take a quick look at it. For defenseman Will Hoffman, he's got a pretty penny attached to him. He's on a 3-year deal at $8.98 million. So that's okay. We have the money to keep him if we want to. Joel Shepard for Will Hoffman. LA would be under the league salary, so we could get them to retain some, hopefully, and have this still go through, maybe. I mean, maybe I'd throw in a pick or whatever, a 3rd-round pick, and have it done. But yeah, there we go. Will Hoffman as a 6.555, I think. 6.555. Sorry. I think that would be a cap pick. 6.55 salary cap for Will Hoffman. If we do that, I mean, I'd probably have to throw in a pick, maybe a rookie skater, somebody that we drafted fairly long ago, maybe like a Quenneville, a Brookbank, somebody like this. Not entirely sure. Maybe a Low Kennis. We could get it done. Is my point. Like we could throw in. I don't want to throw these guys in though. We just drafted them. But we could throw somebody in and get it done for sure. Any goalies matching the blocks that they have? Yeah, like we could do Riley or Gunderson or any of these two guys really, or maybe even Leclerc or so. You know, there's options. We could go Leclerc. Now the trade value's in our favor. Maybe that goes. We could also go with a draft pick, maybe a third or a second round pick, Hoffman and for Shepard, right? Straight up, we could do that. So that's what that's looking like, boys. And thank you guys for listening to my ranting as always. You know, it's always fun to come on here and rant to you guys and all this stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode despite it really not being too crazy. I mean, we did get to sign Matt Svensson, we signed Elliot Patrick, we signed Melvin Barker, and I hope you guys enjoyed those contracts. And I hope you guys will come back here on Tuesdays because we have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, boys. So I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out, everybody.